everyone! I have created a fall nostalgia book. It's my 1950s style. You know, I love my 1950s and fashion. So this one is for fall, and it was a lot of fun. I got some typical fall colors and then some surprising pops of color. So anyway, it's the junk journal pages in ephemera where we can, you know, fold our pages and create a book out of them. So I went ahead and cut off my spine. Like I usually do. I have that heavy duty guillotine cutter and I just cut the spine right off. You could take it to an office center and have them cut the spine for you, or you could just cut the pages out. There's other ways like heating it using your heating tool and loosening up the glue and then pulling them apart. And if you do that, you want to cut off the very edges to make them nice and smooth and keep them all the same size. Okay, now when you get one of my books, they are in order. You know, I put them together to kind of flow in a particular order. And so I like to try to keep the pages together. We have instructions here. And we've got a nice little pretty picture there that we could use for something else later. It's on the back of the instructions. And so this is our first page. What I'm going to do is just take this and fold it, and then I'll take my bone folder, which I forgot to bring here, and I'll run off and get that here in a second. But you just want to, you don't even need to score these. You just need to find the halfway mark by putting the ends together and then going ahead and folding them. And I like to get my bone folder to just give it a nice crisp edge. So 1 second, I'm going to get that. Okay, so we're just going to get a nice fold there and then open it this way because the pages will start stacking this way. So then we'll fold this, fold it inward, and you can always double check yourself like, yeah, they go together really nicely there. To your edge. And then this next one, we're going to fold this way. And you've got places to put photos or places to journal, depending on which you want to do. And I got that off center there, didn't I? Let's just fix that a little bit. There we go. Because I was looking down at the image ahead of me. There we go. Okay. So we got purples and our fashionable ladies. Lots of room to write and journal. So you're going to just keep folding and stacking them on top of each other. I don't know about you, so this is August, but I am looking forward to fall because we have just had such a hot summer, and I think everywhere has really been, everywhere, at least across the United States, has been hot, you know, unseasonably hot this summer. And so I think, you know, we're all just looking forward to a little bit of nice crisp air. You can go out and take a walk and not be in the sweltering heat when you do it. So kind of nice, something to look forward to. Of course, here in North Carolina, it can stay hot into, well, mid-October anyway. But at least it cools off a little bit. It's not this, you know, intense heat and humidity like we've been having. We've got our train travel here, all kinds of travel, and just fall activities and fall fashion, all in our lovely 1950s. She looks like she's dreaming of cooler weather too. nice, really pretty fall images. I try to give a variety of colors. So you got room there, you can put photos. And we got our pocket pages too, so that you can, create some pocket pages to put things in. All right, now that's our main booklet right there. And then we have several landscape photos. So I think what I'm going to do with these is cut them in half and put them on cardstock. And I'll show you why, because now if we had one in the center, of course, then it's going to make sense and, still be together. But if you start stacking them up, what happens, let me just show you real quick. We're going to fold them in half anyway. So if you would just start stacking them up like that, they're not going to make sense anymore. Well, that one's not too far off, but it doesn't really show you the whole thing. They're supposed to go together. So you've got a car there with the wine. So what we're going to do is we cut them in half, and then we can put them back in the order they're supposed to be in, and then they can become part of our booklet. So let me get the cardstock, and we'll do that portion of this. But this is already a nice thick booklet already. And don't you just love, so I am a big animal prints fan. So she's got some animal print on her collar there. I love that animal print dress. Okay, let me get the cardstock and we'll do that. So while trying to figure this out, we want to leave our center alone because these go together. The best way to do it is to have them go over top of the cover. And then this will just become one of our regular pages in here. But we'll need to see if we can get one to coordinate, because one's going to butt up to this one. So anyway, let's go ahead, to make it make more sense, is go ahead and put this like this, because that's how it'll be. And these are a little bit longer, which I'm not worried about that. And we're going to cut these in half, the ones that we're actually going to use. So if we put, she's so pretty. Which one do we want to have for a cover? That could kind of be pretty as a cover. That's pretty as a cover. I like where it says autumn. That could be really pretty as a cover. Just gotta kind of decide what you like the best. And then, so remember, these are gonna be like, this side is gonna be covered up because you're gonna put that down on there, and this one will be glued down. This would be pretty as a cover. Gosh, it's so hard to decide. Ooh, I really like that one. Depends on if you want to go with animal print. Now, this animal print gal will go with our cover too, our inside. Like if, I know what I'm trying to do here. Yeah, like if that goes in there, that'll work. Okay, or that one. Either one of those would be good ones to put here. I have to put that one. All right, I hope I'm not confusing you too much. But anyway, this is just one way to incorporate these landscape photos into here. And you can use them in other projects too. You don't need to necessarily use it like this. But I think what I'm going to do is, I really like the thought of this one as fall for my cover. Even though I do like that autumn one too. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this one as the cover. Okay, so we're going to cut it in half. And these are 8.5 by 11, so we're going to go to the 5.5. All right, so we need 5.5. So this one will go on there. It seems just a little bit wide. And then we can start from there adding our other ones. I think I'm going to go ahead. I know I want to use, oh, I like those too. I like that one. Just pick my favorite ones. I know I want this on the inside. So let's do that now. So we have this one on the inside by our other animal print gal. Okay. So see, then she'll go, she'll go right there. So they coordinate well. I am going to have to trim more off. These might have been a little bit shorter. Okay, and then we just need, for in here, we need 2 pieces. And how about these? That would be nice in there. Although I'm really drawn to this one. And we still have our pages in the back yet. So we need one that coordinates with this. Oh, that would be pretty there. We could do that and then cut out these pieces maybe. Yeah. Add them over there. Or this one might go better too. I mean, I know it's a lot like I'm going back and forth, but really you can play around with it. I mean, this is part of the fun of crafting, is playing like this. And I think I like that. So we're going to cut this one, and I think I got to go back and trim the other ones up a little bit more because they just, oh, how about that? Oh. Now I like the black because the black kind of coordinates with that. I need to, they're kind of wide. Maybe this paper wasn't 8.5 by 11. I mean, not, my papers are 8.5 by 11, the cardstock. So 5.5, and let's go in a little bit because they seem to be kind of long there. Okay, so this one will go here, and then we can put whatever we want on the back. So we could put maybe one of these car scenes. I don't know. Let's cut these other ones and then we'll know. So we've got this one here, and then she's going to go here, which leaves us this, which I'm thinking, so we could either do this as I had said, or I think I'll do these in the front here, and then that way, she's gonna go there. We still should have another whole sheet back here. So yes, so that could be these. Okay, so let's just trim these up and I'll speed it up. We're just going to trim these to fit there and then glue them down, and I've got to decide on either this. You know, I know that's only got a piece of a card, but I kind of like something about that. Or we could put the back. That's the gal that's on the front, her other half. Oh, how about that? That says grateful. Yep. Yay! Okay. And then we're going to cut out that wine and put it across from the lady with her wine. All right. Let me just trim these up. Oh, I was going to speed that up for you so you don't have to watch all that. Okay, there's one other thing that this does for you by adding these half sheets to the cardstock is it does make your journal that much sturdier. So it makes it really nice and adds some thickness and sturdiness to it. Not that, I mean, if you use just the papers, it is fine. But if you want to carry it around, maybe throw it in your purse, do things like that to take it with you, this makes it sturdier for that purpose. Okay, and so now we have our pocket pages. So we have 2 pocket pages. I always try to add pocket pages into my junk journal books. And what we do with these, and the instructions are on here. So you're going to fold this flap up and then fold the page inward in half and lengthwise with this flap on the outside, because the pocket you want on the outside. And then we're going to glue it together to make it a pocket. And they can fit in there anywhere because they're shortened pages. So we just want to fold this up like that. And then fold it in half, like so. And then we're just going to glue down the side. So we'll glue down this side. Okay. Oop, little glue string. And then on this one, we'll glue down this side. And that's all you have to do. And then you got a nice pocket page to put tags in or memorabilia or anything like that. Let me get a paper towel because I went a little bit overboard on the glue there. Okay, so then same thing here. You're going to fold this up like so. And then fold it inward because you want your pocket on the outside. I mean, you could have the pocket on the inside, I suppose, but I like to have mine on the outside. You know, but you could do it like that, have it on the inside, whatever your preference is. And then just fold this. Okay. Got a bone folder somewhere. You know, isn't it funny how things get going? Oh, well. It's pretty good. So then we're going to glue this down. And we're going to glue this one down. Oops. And the glue wants to leak out the sides. Probably because the operator put too much glue on there, huh? All right, so those are our pocket pages. And we can just take them and put them in wherever we would like. So let's see if we can find a place that makes sense for this one. I don't want to put it up front too soon because we have plenty of pages on here. So we got our kind of browns and reds and the purple and black. How about, that's not too bad. Oh, that's good right there. I like those colors. Oh, yes. Okay. So this is going to go in here. We'll just make sure it looks good with that one. It does. Okay. So then we'll be able to put our tickets and things in there. And then we need to find one for this purple one to go in. Oh, don't you love those blues? Okay, she could go there. That wouldn't be too bad. Be on the brown over there. Might have to go back through because we're halfway. Let's go back. See where we might like that even better. I mean, it's kind of early. We could put it there. Where's our other purples? there's a purple. Yep, that'll be good. Okay. Do you ever have days where your hands just don't work? I said, you know, I washed my hands and can't do a thing with them. Okay, so there we go. Perfect. Okay. And you want to, before you bind it, let's make sure we got our half pages where we want, because they can slide down. That looks pretty good. There's the other one. Yep. All right, so I think the way I'm going to bind this today, and there's so many different ways you can bind it. For a long time, I went through a phase where I was putting material over top and then sewing it, but I think for today's purposes, I'm going to use ribbon. So I'm going to get my awl and poke through, and this is really getting thick, but we'll poke through with the awl and then just tie it up with ribbon. Just to hold it in place so it doesn't go slip sliding away on you. Seem to be running out of my larger clamps. I don't really know where they go because I just use them and then take them off, but somehow they disappear. These are real little. But as long as they hold it in place, that's all that matters. Yeah, that's too little. That's all I got left, the little ones. Okay, so there we go. Make sure it's gonna be right. Okay, now I like to go about 1.5 inches up. It does, I mean, you know, it's your own taste of how far up you want to go, but I like to go about 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches up this way, and you want to make sure you get it in the center. You want to get it right in the center. You know, poke through this side. This is really, really thick, so I'm hoping it's going to poke through this side. I might need to try to find my bigger one, although this is usually pretty sharp and does the job, but okay, there we go. So it went all the way through. Okay, and then we're going to do 1.5 inches down. So 1.5 inches down, and again we want to make sure we're right in that crease. Okay, and just keep pushing and pushing, and there it goes. Okay, so hopefully now the ribbon will thread through there. Sometimes it helps if I take my kind of needle nose scissors there and wrap the ribbon on it and then push it through. It does make the hole a little bit bigger, but I think that's okay. So it is coming through the other side now. Up, up, up. Okay, so finally it pushed it through. Remind me next time. Hopefully someone will remind me that I did get a new crop-a-dowel. I've been struggling doing this, and I bought a new crop-a-dowel because mine wasn't working. I had the eyelets and everything to use for this purpose, and I keep forgetting. Next project, I'm going to use my crop-a-dowel. I promise. It'll be much, much smoother and easier. And then you can decide. You probably want to get one too. We're not going to need all this ribbon. So, well, I don't know. Let's try it and see. Okay, same thing here. We're going to push it through. And it's a lot easier when you do the crop-a-dowel on the eyelets, then it's a lot easier to get your ribbon or your lace, whatever you're trying to get through there. Works a lot easier. I've been struggling like this, and I'm like, why don't I just buy a new crop-a-dowel? And then I did, and I forgot I have it. And that's how crafting life goes. I'm going to ruin our pretty sheer ribbon. All right, so I finally got both through. Just was struggling and pushing in with my little scissors. Anyway, so we're going to flip it over and tie this together. Oops. There we go. Tie these together. I like this sheer ribbon. It's really pretty. I got this on Amazon Days. It was on sale. It's so hard to tie when my nails are too long. I really need to get them done. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I like it. I really like it. And we're going to cut off where we had made those little holes poking it through. Oh, cute. Okay, I like that. All right, now we're going to take these off. And we're going to embellish. So I want to show you a good way to put your sheet of ephemera on double-sided sticky paper and cardstock, and then you can have thicker tags. Okay, so let's do that next. All right, so if you wanted to cut your ephemera out on cardstock, I'm going to show you a really quick and easy way to do that. So you're going to get one of these double-sided sticky pages, and I get these from Amazon. So you've got, it's covered on both sides, but in between this covering is double-sided sticky paper. Well, it's like a paper. It's the size of a paper, so a sheet. It's a sticky sheet. Okay, so we're going to use that. You would need this and your ephemera page, and then some type of cardstock. Now, if you wanted, because we're going to be doing tags and stamps and ribbons, so if you wanted, you could do a lighter cardstock so that you could stamp onto it. You could stamp on this, or you could write on this. And if you have one of those, like I have a journal stamp, you could stamp that on there and do some journaling on the back. So if you do a lighter color, that would work. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by taking our sticky page and take the main cover off first, which is, on this one, it's the yellow, but you know, which depending on what type you get, you're going to peel off the main page like that. And then you're going to take your cardstock and line it up as best you can. Got something on that cardstock. We'll do it this way. So you're going to line up your cardstock. And this stuff really grabs. As soon as you lay it down, it's down. It's on there. So I always end up like a little bit off the edge or whatever. But, you know, it's just once it's down, it's down. So we'll do that, and then we'll peel off this part of the sticky. We can get an end there. My nails, I need to get my nails done, but I just don't have time this week, so I gotta put it off till next week, and they really are overdue. There we go. So now we've got our sticky piece here, and what we're gonna do is take our ephemera, and we want our ephemera, the printed side up. Okay, so we want the printed side up, and we're gonna line this up and put it down. And then, so what we're going to do when we cut this out, we're going to have the cardstock on this side and the ephemera on this side. And that way, you'll see, let me cut one of them out. And I'm doing it kind of fast. You can take your time and line it up a little bit better. Not that it matters that much, because you don't care if the edges are off out here, because your ephemera doesn't go out that far. So then we're going to rough cut it at first, and then we'll go in with our fussy cut scissors and cut it the rest of the way. I like doing this for things like tags, these stamps, things that you're not going to glue down. Now I did cut out, these are not fussy cutted yet, but I've got these little pieces of ephemera, and they don't really need to be on cardstock because I'm going to glue them down onto one of our pages. But the ones that we're going to, you know, put like punch holes through and put ribbon, and they're going to become like a tag, it's good to have the cardstock on the back, because then, like I said, you can stamp or write on it, whatever you want to do like that. And it's really easy to just rough cut them like this. Okay, and then we'll cut out some of these. Funny thing is, it will stick to your counter if you had some of those edges not completely covered. Okay, so just to give you an idea. See, to me, I just feel like this is so much easier. And then you've got a nice sturdy tag, or ribbon, or these little stamps. You could do it with tickets, anything like that that you're not going to completely fasten down to your page. Okay, and so then you're just going to come in with your fussy cut scissors and get in there a little bit closer. And you can always ink them up too. I try to put borders around most of my ephemera that I create for you so that you've already got the border there and you don't necessarily have to ink them up. It's just a matter of preference and taste. So anyway, just wanted to take a minute to stop our project and show you this. Okay? And I can trim this up a little bit better, or that's where you could go in around with your ink. And then you've got this side, like I said, to do whatever you want on this side. Okay, fun. So I'm going to finish. I'll cut all the rest of this up off camera, and we'll finish up our project. Okay, so this pile of ephemera is just regular, and I've fussy cut that out. And then this pile is on the cardstock. And then some of the cardstock's light enough for us to be able to stamp, which will be fun too. Okay, so we're going to start embellishing this. And I do have some of these brads. If you watched it was Prima Marketing, I got a mystery box, and these were in there. So I think these will go nicely on some of our ephemera. And then I have been looking through my florals that I got, and look at how much that orange right there matches. I was thinking that, and maybe this one that I kind of felt like looked like a crown, maybe use those two together on the cover. Be kind of simple, but pretty. If I make some more, I'll probably make some more of these, and I'll put maybe a different cover on. And then we have these that could go, and these. Now, this one would still go there, but when I looked at this orange one, I thought, oh no, that's perfect. So, and these are all the same size, so I wouldn't want to use two of them. But some of the other colors would go, but I think I'll just use that single orange and some of that flourish. The other thing, you can back it up with some of the leaves, although these colors aren't great with that. So I don't know that I'll do that, although there are some browns. Maybe when we start playing around with the cover, that'll work out. But I don't want to do the cover until I do some more of the inside. And oh yeah, so these, I thought these were going to go, and they would if I'd have chosen a different cover. So see, so I'll probably be doing some more of these. Oh yeah, so see, we could definitely, change up, not so much, change up which one goes on the cover, and then embellish that a little bit differently. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and get started with putting some of these embellishments on. So most of my stamps, believe it or not, are more vintage than retro. I kind of look at like vintage way before the 50s, like the 20s, even the 1800s. But then the retro is more, to me, is more 1950s, 1960. And I believe it or not, I don't have stamps that really coordinate, although I thought these would be okay for fall, and maybe that dream one. So we'll do that. I know I need to get some for the 1950s, don't I? All right, so then you can see how quick and easy it is to put a junk journal together in no time with this. So, we could do like a little, doesn't that look pretty there? We could do like a little pop dot here. and put that on. Where are my pop dots? Okay, found them. So anyway, we'll just go ahead and put some little pop dots on that. I think that would be cute. Do we want to put any of our little brads? Probably not at this point in time. Oh, isn't that cute? See, I like putting these on the cardstock first. Oh boy, here we go. I always have trouble. There's certain ones, certain pop dots you get, and they're hard to get the sticky, the cover off of the sticky. Let's go ahead and open up those brads, and I can see these little ones would be great for this little mini album. This little tiny junk journal. Well, it's not really tiny. It's 5.5 by 8.5. All right, aren't they pretty? Of course, I don't know how bulky they'll end up being. Some of these have really little pieces on the back, so they wouldn't be too bad. Cute, cute. Okay, let's play with that. These are little on the larger side, so I'll probably save them for another project. We've got some purple here. Now, these tags, what I like to do, our tags with the cardstock, I'm going to, of course, punch with my hole puncher and put ribbon on them, and they'll tuck nicely into these pockets. But some of these that I didn't put on cardstock, what I like to do is take them and make kind of a pocket out of them. So let's get some that would match the purple a little bit better. And I like to just put the glue on the 3 sides and then put that somewhere as our pocket. And then you can stick tags down in there. I don't particularly like that one on there. I like that one better, maybe. Maybe too many people with that one. Oh, here we go. We've got a, that's on our cardstock one. I wanted to do one cardstock because we do have this one that is, just a pattern. We'll come back to this one. Isn't that pretty? I love these colors. What do we have here? Oh, we got a little shoe. Got this. This one I like. Oh, yeah, because it's got the mug. This one I like because it has a little spot there that you could put, write something in there. Oh, that's not where I wanted that to go, but it's down, so it'll be fine. Probably better put one over here. Okay. All right, let's see what we might want to put here. Oh, that could be, you could make it like a little tuck spot there. And I went and got this handy little tool. No more fighting with these pop dots, I'll tell you. They drive me crazy. I think I'll just put some glue on the side and side there, and you could just tuck something, like if you had a ticket or something, tuck that in there. Of course, you got room here for photos or if you wanted to write something. I'm better off to write on the lined parts because then it'll be nice and even. Okay. And see, I mean, you could tuck something in there. All right, we're ready to do some tags. Oh, isn't that pretty? So let's see, that's a darker one. You could stamp it with a light ink, but I don't think I'm going to fool with that. You could put photos or things on here if you wanted to. You could take one of your stamps. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? That's really pretty. Okay, so I would go ahead and ink this up. So for this project, I'm going to use my Distressed Ink Vintage Photo. These are Tim Holtz, the Ranger brand. And I really like those. So just go ahead and I like to use these little daubers. Gives you a little bit more control, and just kind of ink around there. Kind of get it to blend. Okay, and then we'll put this down on here. You could do it off center a little bit. And you could even make this like a little tuck spot, so we could put glue here and here. I love doing that. Oh, look, we could have stamped on there, but we've got some other light ones to stamp on. Now we're going to use our hole punch and put some ribbon. These are those translucent pieces of ribbon that I got from Amazon. I just love them. I don't really want that color there. I don't really like any of those colors on this. Okay. We got the black. Ooh. Yeah, because we got the purple and the black on this one, so we'll do that. And just try to, I always have trouble getting right in the center, but there we go. Is that our black? That's kind of blue. That's not black. Okay, let's look for some more ribbon. I got gobs and gobs of ribbon. I'm just going to pull it out here and see what might work. Here's a purple. Let's see. On the bluish side. That works. And sometimes I like to, do it the regular way and tie it, or other times I like to put it through like this. Again, my nails I've got to get my nails done. They're too long to do anything with. These grow so fast. Okay, so then this method, what we would do, I need a little bit more leeway there. We would just take it like that, make our loop, and then put it through. And then there we go. That's probably too much, huh? Well, if I wasn't doing a video, I would work that through so I don't cut so much off, but let's see. I don't want to make this too long. Let's go ahead and just cut about there. Then we got us a little tag. We'll stick down in there. Okay. We've got these. I'm thinking these would be nice to put somewhere. We could even make a belly band, even though it's a ribbon. We could make a belly band out of it. See, I'm thinking something like on a spot like that where you've got a lot of room, and then you can stick things through here. You probably want on the inside more so. Let's see what we got. This one goes really well with that. I don't want to cover up the lady in her. Oh, well, no. Lady in her hat, I love that one. This could go here, potentially. Then you got a spot here. I didn't want to put it on the outside because I don't want anything falling out. But we can make a belly band out of this. The other thing you can do, a lot of times I'll do, is just glue down this side, and you can lift this up and have something hidden underneath. But on this circumstance, I think I'm going to make that a belly band. Okay, and then we could even, tuck something down like that in there. Does that have, that's the dark one. Okay. All right. I'm probably not going to do all this. I just want to give you an idea, and you could go through and do your own. Let's do one where we can actually stamp them. Now, aren't these pretty? I mean, you just have so many options. Let's do some where we could actually stamp them. Got more of those you can use anywhere. Okay, these two we can stamp on. So let's do that. I have that dream one. Will it even fit? I think it'll fit on this big one. I won these. I went to a crop. I'm originally from Maryland, and I went to a crop in Maryland near Ocean City. If any of you know that, it was actually at Rehoboth. And it was so much fun, and I won these stamps. So I actually prefer them to already be on the wood, but I tend to buy them. Yep, that'll fit. Where they're, where I got to put them on a block. That's just how I tend to find the ones I want. Anyway, I have some foam I'm going to put underneath here, and then that kind of helps with the stamping. I like to save packing material to use as my little stamp pad. And I want to test this first. Let me get a piece here. This is off the back of the book. So, yep, pretty good. I just always like to make sure it's got all the areas. Okay, it's a little bit off, but that's okay. And then we're just going to take our punch. Go through her hair. I hate to do it, but I had to. Oh, this might be pretty. I got one here. Yeah, that's retro, isn't it? Now I'll do this one the regular way. There we go. And so now we've got us a little stamped tag for in there. I mean, I just want to give you an idea for your embellishments and ephemera. And then I'll come back with a final walkthrough when I have it all together. I just feel like I want to use some of these brads. Thinking here, thinking. Oh, that's substantial to put one on. We have, I love that one with the bird. This says adorable, has orange, little heart. I like this one with that bird on it. Oh, good, it's the smaller ones too. Okay, now I'm not sure with the cardstock if I'll be able to poke this through directly or if I'll need to get my little awl. I might, let's see. I'm thinking about there. Oh, no, I'm going to need my awl. It bends too much. And one little kitty thought she was going to play with that, so I had to stick it where she could not get a hold of it because I do not need her poking herself with the awl. Found it. It's so fun when they're in kitty stage because they're a lot of fun, but they're also a lot of work. It's like having a toddler. Like having a toddler in the house again. Always putting things in her mouth and running off with things. Oh, cool. So cute. Now this one, I think I will just put the top, just glue the top down. It goes here so well, but I don't, well, we could cover the dog up and peek at the dog. Okay. One of these days I'm going to get a standard poodle. I love standard poodles. I've just never had the time, but now I kind of do. And I just love standard poodles. They're beautiful. But one of our friends warned about the grooming. You have to groom them very frequently. Oh, that coordinates well. Just the colors kind of blend really well right there. So I think what I'm going to do, sometimes what I like to make like a little bend in here. Make sure we get it even. So then it kind of flaps up for you. See? So we would just want to glue this part down, especially with that brad there. Just some playtime. It's fun experimenting. I probably technically should have gone ahead and inked that up first, but here we are. Okay. So then I got some extra glue there. I'll dab it off of the paper towel, and then, you know, we have that pickup tool that's good for erasing. Wanted to move. All right. So that gives you an idea of what all you can do with your ephemera. And let's do this pretty cover. So I think we're going to take this floral. Again, if you didn't see my Prima Marketing unboxing, oh, I got some gorgeous, gorgeous stuff for a very reasonable price. See, these come from their warehouse, so I guess it's things that hadn't sold and they're moving on to the next season. And $75, and I got over $200 worth of supplies and gorgeous things. So we had that. I was thinking about doing the Say It With Crystals from them. Probably this one, unless that's too large. And you know, you can always cut these and use pieces of them. Because what we could do is have one coming down to elongate that a little bit, give us a little bit more shape. But we wouldn't want it near that long. So even if I cut it there, that's pretty long. Let's go ahead and take this out. This came in the Prima Marketing mystery box as well. I just love their stuff. So see if we put, oh, isn't that going to be pretty? You know, I don't think that is too long. We just cut it there. Whew. Isn't that beautiful? Now, it's not always easy getting these down correctly because they tend to want to move on me. So I start at one end, and I'm still not promising that it's going to be perfect. So we'll just cut it out like this, and they cut real easily. And then on a wing and a prayer, we're going to hold it down, start it here and then pull off the plastic. And again, I've never had it work perfectly. Now let's make sure that's where, because we're going to put that over top a little bit. Oh, that's going to be so pretty. Okay, here we go. So what I like to do is just get it started, keeping it where I want it, and then just start pulling off your plastic and laying it down. And when you got little stray pieces or extra pieces like this, that's where they'll start getting tricky on you. Okay. Well, I think that one turned out pretty darn well. There we go. Okay. And then we're just going to glue this down there, and that is gorgeous, if I must say so myself. I love it. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and go off camera and finish decorating. So I'm just going to keep following the same principles I've been doing, where I just look at it and see what looks like it'll go well there. And I'll come back and do a final walkthrough. So see you soon. Okay, I know I said I wasn't coming back until I had it all embellished and do the final run through, but I did come up with this as I'm playing and figuring out where I want to put things. I came up with this cool idea, so I wanted to come back on and show you before I did it. So I loved how this tag looked here, and so I was going to glue it down and make like a pocket out of it, and I thought, why don't I use one of those gorgeous brads and make it so that it spins. So let's do that. So that's about where I want it, and I'm going to take my awl at the center toward the bottom, and I've got my foam underneath there, and we just went straight through. So we need to find a brad we want. I was thinking this one's pretty substantial. I might put that one on there. Nice colors. Now, of course, we'll have to cover it up on the other side, which we have plenty of ephemera with this kit. So I'm going to, oh, I don't know now that I look at that. I don't know if that goes that well with those. Well, it does have some of that lighter there. We can always change out the brad if we don't like it. It's not like the brad's permanent. So I think I'm going to put it through there first so I can get the holes lined up real good. There we go. Okay, that kind of has that same pattern to it. And then we'll just open our brads here. And then we'll cover it up on this side with something. Let's see. I got plenty. I could do, oops, upside down. Oh, could do that. Or this little cafe, but it's got pink on it. That's kind of pinkish over there. Yeah, let's do just this little cafe. In fact, I think what I'll do is pop dot it since that's kind of thick there. But you'll see this in the final walkthrough. I just wanted to show you. I came up with that idea, and you could hide a little something under there and cover it up and then put that back up. Woohoo! I am back with the final walkthrough, and I just wanted to show you I used up pretty much everything from the book. I have this page left. I was going to cut out the wine and things, but I'll show you. I ended up just using a tag instead. And then I have this one left over, so I definitely could do something with that. And then this one was from on the back of the cover. And this one's the instructions. So anyway, and every time when I do my instructions, you can always cut those little ephemera pieces out too. Now, a lot of times I will use the cover. I'll take the title. Of course, well, yours would not have this not for resale on there. That's my author copy. But a lot of times for these junk journals, I like to cut out the title and put that on. But for this one, I like how this cover turned out better. But sometimes I do that. All right, so let's do our final walkthrough. And I love how this turned out. I like the kind of loose feeling there with the ribbon. And then we've got our little fall pop-up we put there. And then I didn't put anything else on there. They're pretty as they are. We've got this little mug and a place to write something. I was thinking like if I had like a picture of me and one of my friends, we could put us or friends in there, something like that. And then journal about what we did. Probably visited a winery in the fall. I mean, I'm just saying. And then this, I left a little tuck area there. She's getting ready to go on the train. You can put photos. There goes the cat's photo or writing in here. And then put the tag. This is one of those tags. You were here with me when we did that. And it's got a place for a tuck spot. This I just put on there, glued it down. Lots of writing room. I just pop dotted that. And then this, I made a tag. I mean, not a tag, I'm sorry. I made a pocket out of this tag. And then I just stuck, the glue wasn't completely dry. Stuck this little piece down in there. You could write on the back. And that fits down in there. And then this one I just left plain. Put the little doggy over here. And then this one, remember we made the belly band out of that. Got our tags here. Those two tags, those are the ones we stamped. Writing spots. And then this, remember we had this little thing here where I used to brad so it could move. Now I will show you what I did, and I left this so that I could pull it back up. I needed to, which I didn't show you when I was making the tutorial on this, I needed to put some sticky tape down to hold the brads in place because the brad was moving as well as this piece, and you don't want that. You want your brad nice and secure on the other side. I did ink this up a little bit so that it blended better. Over here I had a lot of fun, so I had these leaves from Prima Marketing and just a flower, put a brad through there, and some more of our our amber bling. And then a little, made a pocket out of that. Just put a little ephemera there. I like how the oranges and the purples and the blacks are all blending so well. And you got place here for photos or writing. And then we've got another pocket page here. So I love this tag. I just love how that turned out. And then we've got our cars on this one. Car and suitcase, going for a trip. On a train. Fall was a great time to take a train ride. And then same thing here, I did that little brad trick with that. And I put the tape down and then I covered it up with this. Just as a more for love. And then we've got our little pull up ribbon there. And she's at a cafe doing some work. Another pocket page here with journaling space. That little pocket there, and this is just one that didn't have a cardstock, so I do like that pattern on the back too. Another train trip. And then this, I just put the little piece down there. And we've got autumn. And that is it. And our little grateful on the back. So this is that project. Thanks for watching. And I am going to start putting these because I make so many. When I make a new book and papers, I tend to I want to make variations of this, and I'm starting to have a pile up of these. So I'm going to start selling the actual physical product on Etsy as well as the digital. So you may start seeing some of the physical ones in my Etsy shop. But all the digital ones are too. So you can get all the papers that came with this. You can either get on Etsy as loose digital downloads, or you can order it from Amazon, and it comes in book form all together. Okay, then you don't have to print. I also wanted to show you, I'm tending to, because I like to make coloring books too. So I've started, whenever I make a junk journal or scrapbooking book, I have started making coloring pages that are similar. I mean, they're maybe not all exact, but you'll see very similar. Like that one is the actual image from here. And anyway, so I wanted to show you that if you're into coloring. And same thing, it'll be on Amazon as a book like this, or on Etsy as digital downloads. And these are 8.5 by 11 inch. Thank you so much for watching.